Hey, what is up guys, Phoenix here, and welcome to part 1 of our Rengoku from Demon Slayer, aka the Flame Hashira, aka Mr. Infinity Train. So this one's been out for I think a year and a half plus. I built this one ago, and I never did a tutorial for it because the views weren't really high, but technically Rengoku's views are a lot higher than some of the ones I'm missing right now, such as Inosuke and Overhaul. So I can't really build those guys if his views are still higher than them. So I figured it'd be a good time to add him to the list and see if I can complete it. Just for a disclaimer, this is a 200 by 200 build. You're going to need some space, width, and height. I do recommend that you do not build pixel art on maps that aren't pixel art maps. So like a creative world where you're right above the bedrock, just so you don't worry about height limits. Also, if you are new to pixel art, nobody, not even your best friend, should have building privileges on your pixel art world. It is your personal art world, so there is no reason for anybody to build anything. Now that those disclaimers are out of the way, hopefully all the veterans and the newbies are on the same page. Also, when I'm building, guys, if you're new to pixel arting, a lot of times builds will move at diagonals. So what I mean by that is, let's say I'm completing a shape. As you can see, the coal will kind of bridge like this, and it connects but not directly. The way I talk in my pixel art tutorials is I would tell you we're going up and to the right or down and to the right, which means you would put a placement block or just a temporary block up or to the right, and that would help you place your blocks, and then you would remove the temporary blocks later. Alright, so you'll get to the hang of it fairly quickly, hopefully, and by the second or third part of the tutorial I won't be giving too many basic instructions. But let's just jump right into it, guys. This is enough disclaimer. We're going to start off with grass blocks and blocks of coal first, and what we're going to do is put one single block like this. And this is the left side of the build, so just so you know, I would probably have like 200 more spaces to the right and 200 more spaces above. Anyways, from there, we're going to put a placement block to the top or right side so that we can go up and to the right, 2 vertical, 1, 2, and then you would delete your temporary blocks. Up and to the right, 2 single blocks, so placement block on top, 1, 2, there's our 2 single blocks. Up and to the right, 2 vertical, so placement block to the top or right side, 1, 2. Hopefully you're starting to get the hang of it. I'll just start getting a little bit faster towards the later ends. From there, we're going to go up and to the right, 1 single, so placement block 1. And for this segment, you're pretty much safe just putting your placement block on top every time you finish an instruction, just because we haven't changed direction yet. So you know, just by default, that's the safest way to just stay ahead of the curve. Anyways, so we have 2, 1. We're going to go up and to the right, 2 vertical, 1, 2, and then I'll put a placement block on top at the end there, just like that. Oh, my leg is itching. I don't know why. From there, we're going to go up and to the right. Let's see, we have 2 singles, the 1. We're going to go up and to the right, 1 single again. And it's a lot of repetitive blocks, so just make sure you're on the same pace. When I zoom out like this, just make sure yours matches as well. So you can see we have 2, 1, 2, 1. We're then going to go up and to the right, 2 vertical, 1, 2, placement block on top. Up and to the right, 2 singles, 1, 2, placement block on top again. Up and to the right, 2 vertical, 1, 2. And now we're going to start branching a lot over to the right for the shoulder shape. So we're going to go up and to the right, 6 singles now. So count carefully. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to start flattening out. So if you had your placement block on the top, you can move. I mean, you can still put it on top actually. But for the flattening section, some of you might prefer leaving your placement block on the right. Just at the end of each instruction, just put your placement block on the top or right. So from here, we're going to go up and to the right, 2 flat, 1, 2, placement block. Up and to the right, 3 flat, and we're actually going to do that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times in a row. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, just like that. 8 times in a row, and it's all going to connect at a diagonal. So placement block at the end. 1, 2, 3, that's 2. 1, 2, 3, that's 3. 1, 2, 3, that's 4. 1, 2, whoops, misplaced. 1, 2, 3, that's 5. 1, 2, 3, that's 6. 1, 2, 3, that's 7. And then finally, 1, 2, 3, that's 8. So let's go back now and delete all these dirt blocks, or the temporary blocks. And then if we zoom out, or if you just look at the right hand camera screen, you can get a good idea of how it's supposed to look. You can see the shoulders coming along nicely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I might have to move the cameraman on the right sooner or later, just not now. Just for the record, you know, once I build more things come into frame, so I shift them over. Anyways, from here we're gonna go up into the right 2 flat 2 times in a row. So placing block to the top or right side. 1, 2, that's 1. 1, 2, that's 2. Up into the right 3 flat. 1, 2, 3. Up into the right 2 flat 3 times in a row. 1, 2, that's 1. 1, 2, that's 2. 1, 2, that's 3. And now this kind of connects with some of his hair that overlaps his shoulder. So it's going to go into a really random direction kind of, but bear with me. It'll all eventually connect to something. So from the end of this 2 flat, we're going to add an extra block to the right here, just like this. And from that extra block, we're going to put 1 below and 2 above. 1, 2. We're then going to go down into the left from there, and that's going to start making a jagged zigzag pattern for the hair. So let's go down into the left. 9 singles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. Then down into left 2 vertical. So we're going to put a placement block underneath. 1, 2. Down into left 4 vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4. Placement block. Down into left 5 vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we can put a placement block at the bottom. But also what I want to do is from the second to last block from the bottom. So this one right here. We're going to just put an extra coal to the right. Now from that placement block we have at the bottom, we're just going to go down into the left 2 vertical from it. So let's just go over here and 1, 2. Perfect. Now let's go to that single we have on the right side over here, the one that we just did literally like a second ago. And we're going to go up into the right from it. So we're changing direction again. So our placement block will go to the top or to the right. Oops, to the right. 2 singles. So 1, 2. Up into the right 2 flat. 1, 2. Placement block on the end. Up into the right 2 flat again. 1, 2. Except from this 2 flat, we're going to go over to the right block right here. And we're going to add an extra single to the top and 2 more below it. 1, 2. From the extra single to the top, we're going to put a placement block on the top side and go up into the right 4 vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to rotate to the bottom block now and put a placement block down there so that we can go down into the left 7 vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. From this 7 vertical, we can put a placement block on the bottom, but what we can also do is go to the second to last and third to last block from the bottom, so these 2 right here, and add an extra coal to the left side. 1, 1. From that extra coal to the left side, we need to bring that to the ground. So let's go and put an extra placement block below it, like so. And we're going to go down into the left 7 singles. So 1, 2, and I want you to count carefully. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Placement block on the bottom or left side, so we can go down into left 2 flat. 1, 2. And then we reach the ground by putting our placement block at the end here and going down into the left 5 singles, and this should touch the ground. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and finally 5. Perfect. If yours did not touch the ground here, you probably should go back and check what's wrong. This is fairly early in the build, so you have time to just zoom out and see where yours looks wrong. But from here, we're now going to go back to the 7 vertical we have back here and just work with the bottom block. So from that bottom block, we're going to go down into the right, 2 vertical, 2 times in a row. 1, 2, that's 1. 1, 2, that's 2. We're then going to keep on following this trend till we hit the floor. So I just suggest you put your placement block on the bottom each time. It shouldn't matter. We're going to go down into the right 1 single. Down into the right 2 flat. 1, 2. Then from that 2 flat, we're going to go to the right block in it. And we're going to put 1 block below it. And then 1 block to the right of that. So now we have this connected shape. The 2 bottom blocks in this new shape are important. From the left block, we're going to go down into the left 2 vertical, 2 times in a row. So placement block underneath. 1, 2, that's 1. 1, 2, that's 2. And then just touch the ground by going down into left 1 single. Perfect. Then from the right block now, we're still going to put a placement block underneath it, but we're going to go down into the right 1 single. Down into the right 2 flat, 2 times in a row. 1, 2, that's 1. 1, 2, that's 2. And then we're going to touch the ground by going down into the right 2 singles. So placement block underneath. 1, 2. Perfect. So we're not even at the halfway point, so I can tell I'm going to have to move my cameraman, but it's fine for now. You can still see what I'm working with, and we'll shift later. Anyways, from this single that's now touching the ground, we're going to put a placement block on top of it. And from that placement block, I want you to put a coal to the top and a coal to the right. From that coal to the top we just placed, we're going to go up into the left 1 single again. So let's put a placement block on top and then a single to the left of that. Let me just zoom out so you can see what we're working with, because the blocks are a little bit clumped up here, so hopefully you don't get lost. From this newly placed single right here, we're going to go up into the left 2 vertical, 2 times in a row. So placement block to the top or left side. 1, 2, that's 1. 1, 2, that's 2. Up into the left 6 vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up into the right 4 singles. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then from the top block in the 4 singles, so this highest one right here, we're just going to add an extra coal to the right. And then we're going to put 2 on top. 1, 2. And then 2 below. 1, 2. Perfect. Now that we have this 5 vertical right here, we don't need to touch the top block right now. We can work with the bottom one. And from the bottom block, we're going to go down into the right 2 vertical. 1, 2. Down into the right 1 single. Down into the right 2 flat, 2 times in a row. So placement block on the bottom or right side. 1, 2, that's 1. 1, 2, that's 2. Then down into the right 1 single. And then that's going to be the end of a spike. So what we need to do is bring it back up now to create that curvy spiky shape. So from that 1 single, we're going to add 3 more to the top. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to be going up from here. So just put your placement block on the top each time now, and you should be fine. So we're going to go up into the left 3 vertical, 2 times in a row. So 1, 2, 3, that's 1. Placement block on the top, just like I told you. 1, 2, 3, that's 2. Up into the left 8 vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Placement block on top. And now we're switching directions. We're going to go to the right now. So up into the right 2 vertical, 2 times in a row. 1, 2, that's 1. 1, 2, that's 2. Up into the right 1 single. Up into the right 2 vertical. 1, 2. Up into the right 1 single again. Up into the right 2 vertical again. 1, 2. And now we're almost at another collar spot, so it's going to start changing directions again. Right now we're doing the hair that's overlapping his jacket. So if you're wondering what the sudden change or spikiness is coming from, it's different parts of his face or his outline overlapping and meeting each other. So it all makes sense if you're looking at the thumbnail, but for some of you guys, you know, once you see the bigger picture, it makes sense, but once it's this small, it looks kind of weird, and you guys feel like you messed up, but you have not, okay? Unless your thing is floating in the air and you don't know what the heck it looks like, then everything should be fine. Anyways, from there, we're going to go up and to the right, 3 singles, so placement block on top, 1, 2, 3. Up and to the right, 2 flat, 1, 2. And now we can split into 2 directions. From the left block and the 2 flat, we can put 4 more on top of it, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to mark that top block because we can come back to it if we want to. And do more of the collar, but I want to go with this block we have at the bottom right here and continue shaping out the collar. So from that 2 flat that we have at the bottom right here, we're going to go to the right block, and we're going to be putting our placement block underneath each time, so we can go down into the right 1 single, down into the right 2 flat 3 times in a row, 1, 2, that's 1, 1, 2, that's 2, 1, 2, that's 3, and then let's delete these temporary blocks. Down into the right 3 flat, 1, 2, 3. Down into the right 11 flat. 11 vertical, sorry. 11 vertical, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let me just zoom out so you guys can see what I did, just in case if you heard me wrong. Definitely take a pause right now if you're hearing my voice, guys, and look over at the screen. I said 11 flat, but I meant 11 vertical, okay? It's very important that you guys follow that correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right. From there, the collar is going to branch off into 2 directions. One of them is going to go to the ground, which we'll do first, and then the other one's going to continue towards his right shoulder. So from that 11, we're going to put another block below it, but from this other block, we're also going to put a block to the right of it. So we just created a little 2 flat at the end of our 11. So first off, from the left block into 2 flat, we're going to bring this to the ground by going down into the left 1 single, down into left 2 vertical, 1, 2, down into left 5 vertical, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to go down into the left and just extend it to the ground about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, should be about 15 blocks. So placement block underneath or to the left, and we'll go down into left 15 vertical, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Perfect. Now let's go back up to the 2 flat, and instead of the left block now, we're going to go work with the right block that we just brought to the ground. On the right block, we're going to go down into the right from it, 1 single, so placement block to the bottom or right side, 1. Down into the right 8 flat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then from the 8 flat, we're going to go up into the right 1 single, up into the right 7 flat right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry if my instructions are kind of choppy, by the way, guys. I have not touched this blueprint since 2019, I think. So it's not fresh in my memory, and some of the tricks I did for myself are definitely forgotten. Anyways, from here, we're going to go up into the right 4 flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up into the right 3 flat. 1, 2, 3. Up into the right 2 flat, and we're actually going to do that 7 times in a row. So 1, 2, that's 1. Placement block to the top or right side. 1, 2, that's 2. 1, 2, that's 3. 1, 2, that's 4. 5, 6, 7. Perfect. Make sure you're counting carefully, guys. Definitely when you have a lot of blocks like that in a row, it is so easy just to accidentally double count one and then you're messed up. All right. From this last set of 2 flats, so this highest one right here, we're going to go to the right block. And on the right block, we're going to do 2 things. First, we're going to go to the right of it and add 1 coal. And then from that new coal, we're going to put 4 on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then mark that top block. So we have this backwards L shape. Then from that 2 flat again, we're going to go underneath it this time and put 2 pieces of coal going straight down. 1, 2. Just like that. From that 2 coal we put straight down, we're going to continue going down from it, so put a placement block underneath it, and we're going to go down into left 2 vertical 4 times in a row. 1, 2, that's 1. 1, 2, that's 2. 1, 2, that's 3. 1, 2, that's 4. And if I zoom out, it's going to be 5 of them in a row because the first one was already there from our extension. So we had this first one that's connected and created this backwards LT shape. And then we added 4 more going down into the left. So make sure you count carefully, guys. From there, we're going to go down into left 1 single. Down into left 2 flat. 1, 2. And then from this 2 flat right here, we're going to add an extra coal below each of them. So 1, 1. And then from that new layer of coal, we're going to add 1 to the left. And then 7 blocks to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. Now that we have this extended 7, what I want you to do is we're going to count over 6 blocks from the left side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And on that 6th block, I want you to put 4 pieces of coal going straight down. 1, 2, 3, 4. From those 4 going straight down, we're going to go down into the left 6 vertical. So placement block underneath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then down into left 9 vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. Now let's go back up to the 10 flat we have right here. And we're going to put our placement block to the top or right side of the ending. And we're going to go up into the right 1 single. Up into the right 2 vertical. 1, 2. From this 2 vertical, we're going to double up and put another layer to the right of each. So 1, 1. And from that new layer, we're going to add 2 to the top. 1, 2. And 4 to the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. I like where this is going so far. Anyways, now from the bottom block in there, we're going to go down into left 4 vertical. So placement block underneath each time now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Placement block. Down into left 3 vertical. 1, 2, 3. Down into left 2 vertical 2 times in a row. 1, 2, that's 1. 1, 2, that's 2. Down to the left 1 single. And from that single, we're going to do 2 things. First, we're going to put 3 pieces of coal to the right of it. So 1, 2, 3, just like that. Then from the bottom of that single, we're going to put 1 coal underneath it. And 2 coals to the left of that one. So looks like this now. Basically just creating a spiked tip. Now let's go to that 3 we added to the right over here that's just kind of floating off, and we'll continue building from there. Let's put a placement block to the right side, and we'll go up into the right 3 flat. 1, 2, 3. And from that 3 flat, we're going to go to the end block right here, so just 1 all the way at the end. And we're going to do 2 things. First, above it, we're going to put 1 coal, and then 1 coal to the right of that one, like this. Then below it, we're going to put 3 coal going straight down. So 1, 2, 3. So you should have this shape going on. From those 3 we added to the bottom, we're going to put a placement block underneath and going to go down into the right 3 vertical again, and this should touch the ground. So 1, 2, 3. Perfect. And that's done with there. Now we can go back up. And to the 2 we have at the top right here, where the right side is just hanging off by itself, we're going to continue building from there by putting a placement block to the top or right side, and then going up into the right 5 singles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's go up into the right 3 vertical. So placement block on top. 1, 2, 3. Up into the right 2 vertical 2 times in a row. 1, 2, that's 1. 1, 2, that's 2. Up into the right 2 single. 1, 2. And now we need to bring this spike back down. So underneath this single, we're going to put a placement block. And we're going to go down into the right 6 vertical. 1, 2. Whoops. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Down into the right 4 vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4. And actually, let me move my cameraman and just get everything into frame. I'm hoping what I can do is, if I frame this correctly, I won't have to move him again for a while, or I can just kind of just guess where the frame is going to end on this current build, because I'm going to bring the shoulder down on the right side, and then we should be done for today. Alright, that should be enough space. Hopefully I did it correctly. From the 4 vertical we just created, let's go to the second to last block, so this one right here, and add 1 coal to the right. And that's going to be our new starting point. Let me just give it a quick save. Should only take like 5 seconds. Come on, there we go. From that new single, we're going to be going up from here for a little bit. So I suggest putting your placement block to the top side. And we're going to go up into the right 2 vertical. 1, 2. Up into the right 3 vertical. 1, 2, 3. Up into the right 3 vertical again. 1, 2, 3. Up into the right 2 flat. 1, 2. Whoops, wrong color. 1, 2. And from that 2 flat, we're going to do 2 things. First, we're going to go to the left block, and we're going to add 1 coal to the top. Then we're going to go to the right block and put a placement block underneath it, so that we can go down into the right 4 vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. From the 4 vertical, we're going to find the 2 top blocks right here, and then just add another coal to the right of each. So 1, 1. So they're kind of clumped up like this. But we're going to use that to keep extending off. So from the 2 we just added to the right there, we're going to add another 2 to the top. So 1, 2, just like this. Placement block on top. We're going to go up into the right 4 vertical now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up into the left 4 vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up into the left 2 vertical 2 times in a row. 1, 2, that's 1. 1, 2, that's 2. Up into the left 2 singles. 1, 2. And now here's where the hair meets up with the right shoulder, so we can actually worry about getting this down to the ground. We're just going to go up into the left 8 vertical, so placement block to the top or left side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And from the 8 vertical, we're going to mark the top block with a placement block, so we can come back to it later. But from there, we're going to actually go down to the the 4th block from the top, so 2, 3, 4. So this one right here. So it's 5th from the bottom, 4th from the top. We're going to put 3 coal to the right. 1, 2, 3. And this is going to be our home run sprint to the ground. So we're going to be going down into the right for quite a bit here. I suggest putting your placement block underneath or to the right side. We'll go down into the right 2 flat, and we're going to do that 4 times in a row. 1, 2, that's 1. 1, 2, that's 2. 1, 2, that's 3. 1, 2, that's 4. Down into the right 3 flat. Whoops, wrong block. 1, 2, 3. Down into the right 2 flat 2 times in a row. 1, 2. 1, 2. And the blocks are fairly repetitive, but it's because we need to just keep small increments like this to help the curve look real. If it looks too jagged or whatever, it doesn't look like a shoulder, ends up looking like a porcupine, So nobody wants that. So anyways, from there, we're going to go down into the right 3 flat. 1, 2, 3. Down into the right 2 flat. 1, 2. Down into the right 3 flat again. 1, 2, 3. Down into the right 2 flat 2 times in a row. 1, 2. That's 1. 1, 2. That's 2. Placement block on the bottom or right side. Down into the right 3 flat. 1, 2, 3. I'm losing my voice a little bit, so it's a good thing we're at the end right here. Don't want to start sounding choppy. Down and to the right, 1 single. Down and to the right, 2 flat, 2 times in a row. 1, 2, that's 1. 1, 2, 2, that's 2. Jeez, I need to fix my sensitivity on this. It's really bad. Down and to the right, 3 flat, 2 times in a row. 1, 2, 3, that's 1. 1, 2, 3, that's 2. Delete these old blocks. And now a piece of his hair actually ends up touching the shoulder right here. So what we're going to do is from this 3 flat, let's go to the right block right here at the end. And we're going to put 2 more coal going straight up. 1, 2. And then we're going to mark those 2 coal. We might not even build off of this, because if we do the hair from the left side, it'll eventually come back here and touch it. But just in case we start from the right side or something, we'll just leave this 2 vertical right here. And then we're going to go back to the 3 flat right here and use the bottom block. And we're going to go down into the right 2 flat 3 times in a row. Placement block 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Perfect. Looks like I was slightly wrong, so let's just zoom out a little bit for the cameraman. This should cover all of the frame. We're literally at the ending. So from here, we're going to go down into the right 5 singles. Count carefully, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down into the right 2 vertical. 1, 2. Down into the right 1 single. Down into the right 2 vertical 3 times in a row. 1, 2, that's 1. 1, 2, that's 2. 1, 2, that's 3. Down into the right 1 single again. Down into the right 2 vertical 2 times in a row. 1, 2, that's 1. 1, 2, that's 2. And we should be 1 above the ground. All we're going to do is just go down into the right 1 single. Perfect. So if you ended up touching the ground right there, that means everything you pretty much did is correct for this part. That set up the basic frame where we have both of his shoulders touching the ground, so we shouldn't have any width issues. The only thing we have to worry about is height, but I made sure I have enough space. So if you hit this part of the tutorial, your width is fine. The only thing you might have to worry about is height limit, but I told you guys to leave about 200 blocks in the air. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this part 1. If you are, be sure to like and subscribe for more pixel art content. This is Phoenix, and as always, I'll see you guys later.